What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we need to have a chat about the FAQ from EB-02. EB-02 is around the corner, there are new rulings, we need to talk about them, and let's start off with Yamato. Now, Yamato is a new red card in the set, and what we got with Yamato is activate main once per turn. If your leader is Wano Country or Porcus the Ace, give a rested Don to your leader, and then gain quick attack. Or rush. Okay then, so what happens if your leader doesn't have Wano Country or is an ace? Can you still get rush? No. It's not a, you've got to have the right leader to get the Don, but you get rush. Anyway, it is all part of the same skill. If you don't have the right leader, nothing happens. I'm sorry. We've got a new Luffy. Now, Luffy is a leader, and the leader's got the skill whereby activate main once per turn, Don -2. If the only characters on your field are Straw Hat, then activate 2 of your Don and give your leader 1,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Well, what if you don't have any characters? Does that mean all your characters are Straw Hat? No. Nice try, but unfortunately, if you have no characters, you Don -2, then you check to see if all your characters are Straw Hat, which they aren't because you have no characters, and then nothing else happens. But because the Don -2 is in bold before the colon, you do that and then check, so you would still Don -2, but then after that, nothing would happen. Now, Arlong's attracted a bunch of rulings here because it's got the text, on play, if your leader is Fishman or East Blue, give a rested Don to your leader, and then one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. So there's a whole bunch of questions, and the answer to all of them is no. So, okay, they can't be rested. Does that mean they can attack? No, because you have to rest to attack, and you can't rest. Well, can they use skills that mean they have to rest to use them? No, because they have to rest. Can they block? No, because you have to rest to block. Well, what if I want to use a skill to rest one of my opponent's characters that I've said can't be rested? No. The rule with Arlong is very simple. Anything, and I did tell you this at the time, to be fair, when I showed you the card when it was first revealed, anything that would have the effect of resting a character, whether it's attacking, blocking, using a skill, having a skill used against it, whatever it is, if the effect is that the character ends up being rested, it can't be done because the character cannot be rested. We cool? Excellent. What if my leader isn't Fishman or East Blue? Well, then you can't stop a character resting then, can you? Awesome. Now, Gaimon's got a lovely skill whereby if you've got Sarfunkel on the board, Gaimon gains blocker. What about that leader Luffy that is all characters and all types and everything else, has all card names, characters and attributes? If you've got that leader, does Gaimon gain block? Yeah, he does, because you've got Sarfunkel on the board. Excellent. There is a new carrot in the set, whereby, on play, if you got 3 or more Don, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, find a Zo card and add it to your hand, put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order, and then play a Zo from your hand. Now, we're going to see this ruling a few times during the FAQ, and it's alright, what if I've got 2 or fewer Don? I can't search for a Zo, but can I still play a Zo from my hand? No. The way this works is, if you have 3 or more Don, you can search for a Zo and then play one. It is not, if you have 3 or more Don, search for a Zo. Completely unrelated, hey, you can play a Zo. It is, you've got to have 3 or more Don in order to activate the skill as a whole. Now, Jewelry Bonnie is a new super rare from the set. On play, you choose one of your opponent's rested characters, and it will not activate during your opponent's next refresh phase, and then you activate one of your Don. Well, if I activate this, and then this character, this Bonnie goes away, can I still activate one of my Don at the end of the turn? Yes, you can. Essentially, you play Bonnie, the skill activates, and then that Don is set to go up, and everything else is then irrelevant. Whether Bonnie's there or not, it doesn't matter. That Don has already been set in motion to be activated, and it will at the end of your turn. We also have a new Roanoa Zoro in this set, finishing off the green rulings, and if your opponent's got 2 or more characters, this character can attack a character on the turn it appears. Okay, so I play this, my opponent's got 2 characters. I use some other skill to get rid of one of my opponent's characters. Can I still attack characters? No. No, you cannot. And the reason is, essentially, you check when you attack. It is a skill that lets you attack active characters. If your opponent has 2 or more characters, as soon as they don't, you lose that skill. It's not like Bonnie where you play it, you set it in motion, and then it's going to happen. This is when you go to attack a character, you need to check at that moment. That's very, very important. Now, there's a new Usopp coming in the set, which is another one that causes a slight bit of confusion. On play, if you have 2 or fewer characters with a power of 5,000 or more, play a 6,000 power or less vanilla character, one with no effects, from your hand. Okay. Well, does that include this character, which does, of course, have 5,000 power? Yes, it does. So if you've got 2 plus Usopp, then you've got 3 in total, doesn't work. You play Usopp, then you look at the field, I've got more than 2, got it. What if your opponent's leader is Shanks, which is lowering your power by 1,000, such that Usopp or one of your other 5k characters is 4k? Well, then they're not 5,000 or above, so they don't count, and the skill absolutely activates. Very important. We have a new ace in the set, and on play, if your leader is Whitebeard Pirates, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, find a character card of a cost of 2, add it to your hand, and then play a character cost of 2 from your hand rested. Same ruling we saw before. In order to do either of these, you've got to have the right leader. You cannot say, well, I don't have Whitebeard Pirates, I'll just play the character. Nope. Both of those things are dependent on having the right leader. When My Friend's Dreams Are Laughed At, a new event card here, and it's got a counter. If any of your characters would be KO'd in battle this turn, you may discard a card from your hand instead. Okay. Well, if my character appears after activating this counter and would be KO'd in battle, can I discard a card from my hand instead? No, it has to be a character that was already there. Iceberg is going to look very familiar with some of the other rulings we got here. If you've got 3 or more Dawn on your field, on play, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, find a Gallilar, put it in your hand, and then you can play a Gallilar from your hand. Very similar card to Carrot, very similar ruling. If you don't have 3 or more Dawn, you don't get to do anything. Now, Clabautermann is an interesting one here. This is one whereby if you've got Thousand Sunny in play, it gains blocker. Very similar thing to Gaimon here, and very similar ruling. That is to say, if you have that Luffy or any other leader, which is all names, then yes, this absolutely will work and will gain blocker. Very similar to Gaimon here. Now, Sanji and Pudding comes in as a very interesting new card with a very interesting new skill. On your turn, once per turn, when 2 or more Dawn on your field are returned to the Dawn deck, add a Dawn card from your Dawn deck active. Well, alright, what if I use 2 separate Dawn -1 skills such that 2 Dawn in total have been returned? No, it's got to be 2 at the same time. There's also a second skill here whereby when you play this card, if the number of Dawn cards on your field is equal to or less than the number of Dawn on your opponent's field, draw a card. Well, what if you play a card like Luffy-Tarou, for instance, from starter deck 18, that's got an on-play Dawn -1, lets you play a purple Straw Hat crew of a cost of 5 or less. What happens then? Yeah, you're fine. Essentially, you play this, you've got 7 Dawn, your opponent's got 6. You play Luffy-Tarou, you're Dawn -1, you essentially resolve playing Luffy, then you check the Dawn, you've got 6 each, you get to draw. Now, Blueno is coming back in this set, and we got a skill whereby activate main, trash a card from your hand, trash this character, and then play a character of a cost of 5 or less other than Blueno that has a characteristic including CP. Well, if I discard a character card that's got CP in its characteristic, with a cost of 5 or less, can I then play that when I trash Blueno? Yeah, you totally can. You're good. Go right ahead. It'll be fun. Enel, I have said, is probably the most busted card in the set. It's ridiculous. If your leader's got Sky Island, you've got Quick Attack or Rush, and then when attacking, you may trash a card from your hand. If your life is 1 or less, add a card from the top of your deck to your life, and then gain 1,000 power for the turn. Same kind of thing we've seen before. If you got 2 or more life, can you still get the 1,000 power? No, the whole skill is dependent on having 1 or fewer life. Jinbei is coming here in yellow with a very interesting trigger, whereby if your leader is Fishman or Mermaid and you got 2 or less life, play this character. So, well, this is a trigger, so when are you counting the life? It's after you take Jinbei. Remember, you take Jinbei, you look at the trigger says 2 or less life. Well, Jinbei's not in your life anymore, so Jinbei is not counted, because by the time you look at the life, Jinbei is no longer in the life. That is very important. Without you, I cannot become King of the Pirates. It's got a counter that gives your leader or character 1,000 power during this battle, and then if you've got 1 or less life, play a yellow character with Straw Hat or Sanji with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. Okay. Can I bring out a Sanji with a cost of 6 or more, or a Sanji of a colour other than yellow? No, obviously you can't. That's not going to work. And then finally we have a secret rare Monkey D. Luffy, the only secret rare in the set, because of course EB-01 or EB-02 as well is a smaller set. If your leader is multicoloured and your opponent's got 5 or more Dawn, you've got Rush. And when attacking once per turn, return 2 of your active Dawn to your deck, activate this character, and then add a card from your hand to the top of your life. Okay, good card. If my opponent's got 5 Dawn, I play this character, and then my opponent goes down to 4 Dawn, do you still have Rush? No. Again, it's a very similar ruling to what we saw with Roanoa or Zoro. If your opponent's got 5 or more Dawn, you've got Rush. If at any point they go down below, you can't use it. You are checking the number of Dawn when you try and attack. If you go to attack and they've got 4 or fewer Dawn, you can't do it. I am sorry. It's all about when you check. So there we go. Those are the rulings from EB-02. That's what you need to know, and now it's over to you guys. Any of these don't make sense? Which of these make you happy? Tell me in the comment section. Get us! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.